Part 1. The Pain of the Lonely Search. You've been searching for them, the ones who get you, your soul tribe. But the harder you search, the more alone you feel. What if the map you've been given is upside down? What if the path to finding others is the path to the very center of your own self, alone? If you are tired of searching for a home outside of yourself, you have found the place to build your own foundation. The end of your loneliness is not where you think it is. Subscribe to The Hidden Voice, and let us, together, explore the great and liberating paradox of belonging. Let's begin by acknowledging the unique and profound pain of the spiritual orphan. It is the feeling of being the only one of your kind on the entire planet. You have awakened to a new reality, and your heart now aches for a new kind of connection. A connection that is not based on shared history or superficial interests, but on a shared frequency. A resonance of the soul. And so you begin the search. You go to the workshops, the retreats, the online groups, always with a secret, tender hope in your heart. Maybe this time. Maybe this is where I will find my people. Sometimes, you get a glimmer of it. A conversation that goes deep, a moment of shared understanding with a stranger. And your heart soars. But then, the workshop ends, the people go home, and you are left with a silence that feels even louder than before. The brief taste of connection has only amplified the pain of your everyday solitude. You scroll through social media, and you see photos of other tribes, groups of laughing, radiant people who seem to have found their soul family. And it feels like a punch to the gut. A confirmation of your own exile. The pain of this is not just sadness, it is a deep, existential ache. It is the fear that you are fundamentally and irrevocably alone in your new reality. That you have awakened into a beautiful world, but you are doomed to experience it in solitary confinement. The more you look for your tribe, the more you are energetically screaming to the universe, I am alone. And the more your reality reflects that lonely search back to you. Part 2. The Paradox. Loneliness versus solitude. To end this painful search, we must first understand the great paradox that lies at the heart of true belonging. To find your tribe, you must stop looking for it. You must instead cultivate the one thing that your loneliness is desperately trying to avoid: solitude. Now, this is the most crucial distinction we must make. Loneliness and solitude are not the same thing. They are, in fact, energetic opposites. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. It is a state of lack. It is a feeling of incompletion, of, I need someone else to make me feel whole. It is the energy of the hungry ghost, the orphan, the beggar. It is a contractive, needy, and, ultimately, repulsive energy. Solitude, on the other hand, is the joy of being alone. It is a state of fullness. It is the feeling of being so deeply and happily connected to your own self, to your own source, that the presence of others is a delightful addition, but not a fundamental necessity. It is the energy of the sovereign, the host, the king or queen in their own kingdom. It is an expansive, radiant, and profoundly magnetic energy. Here is the fundamental law of energetic resonance that governs this entire dynamic. You cannot attract your tribe from a state of loneliness. You can only attract it from a state of solitude. Why? Because your true soul tribe, the very people you are aching to meet, are also sovereign beings. They are not looking for a hungry ghost to feed. They are not looking for a project to fix. They are looking for other, equally full, and equally radiant souls to co-create with. They are looking for other lighthouses. As long as you are broadcasting the needy, contractive frequency of loneliness, you are energetically invisible to them. Or worse, you are repulsive to them. They can feel the hole in your energy, and a truly sovereign soul knows that it is not their job to fill it. The most loving, most powerful, and most effective thing you can do to find your tribe is to stop focusing on them, and to turn your full, undivided attention to healing the loneliness within yourself. It is to embark on the sacred journey of transforming your loneliness into a beautiful, radiant, and magnetic solitude. Part 3. The Somatics of the Search. This energetic difference between the frequency of loneliness and the frequency of solitude is not a theory. It is a physical, palpable reality in your body. Your body knows when you are begging, and it knows when you are beaming. Let's feel the difference. First, let's tune into the energy of the search. Bring to mind that feeling of desperately wanting to find your tribe. That feeling of being alone at a party, scanning the room for a friendly face. That feeling of scrolling through your phone, looking for connection. Now, feel that energy in your body. Where does it live? It is often a hollow, aching feeling in the center of your chest. A feeling of emptiness. Notice its posture. It is a forward-leaning energy, isn't it? A subtle, energetic reaching, or grasping, for something outside of yourself. It is the posture of a beggar. Notice its quality. It is needy. It is anxious. It is contracted. It is a broadcast that says, I am not enough on my own. Please, complete me. This is the frequency of loneliness. It is a profoundly repulsive frequency to a soul that is already whole. Now, with a long, slow exhale, let that entire state go. Let the beggar rest. And let's tune into a different frequency. The frequency of solitude. I want you to imagine, just for this moment, that you are perfectly, blissfully, and completely happy in your own company. You are your own best friend, your own wise counselor, your own perfect lover. Now, feel the energy of that state in your body. Where does it live? Notice how the energy is not a hollow ache, but a full, warm, and radiant feeling, centered in your own core. Notice its posture. It is not leaning forward. It is perfectly upright, centered, and stable. It is the posture of a sovereign king or queen, sitting peacefully on their own throne. Notice its quality. It is not needy. It is full. It is not anxious. It is calm. It is not contracted. It is expansive. It is a broadcast that says, I am already whole. My own company is a beautiful and complete world. This is the frequency of solitude. This is the frequency that your soul tribe is listening for. The entire path to finding your people is the sacred, alchemical work of transforming the first state into the second. It is the journey of learning to stop begging for connection, and to start beaming with a radiance that is so full and so beautiful, that your tribe cannot help but be drawn to the light. Part 4. The barriers within. This great work, this journey of transforming loneliness into solitude, is not about finding something you don't have. It is about removing the barriers to the love and the fullness that are already inside you. It is a journey of excavation, not of acquisition. The great Sufi poet Rumi, a master of the inner life, gave us the perfect map for this journey. He wrote, Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Let us now apply this profound wisdom to our search for our tribe. Let us rewrite Rumi's words. Your task is not to seek for your tribe, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against the very connection you crave. What are these barriers? The primary barrier is your own unhealed loneliness. The belief that you are an orphan. As long as you believe you are an orphan, you will act like one, and you will push away the very people who could be your family. Another barrier is your own uninvestigated discomfort with being alone. We are conditioned by our culture to see being alone as a sign of failure. And so, we run from it. We fill the silence with noise, the empty spaces with distraction. We have never given ourselves the chance to discover the profound beauty and wisdom that can only be found in our own quiet company. And the greatest barrier of all is the belief that another person, or a group of people, holds the key to your happiness. The belief that your tribe is your savior. This belief makes you a beggar, and it places an impossible and unfair burden on any new connection that comes into your life. The great work is to turn your attention away from the outer search, and to begin the inner work of dismantling these barriers. It is the courageous work of sitting with your own loneliness, and instead of running from it, to greet it with a compassionate and curious attention. To ask it what it needs. It is the joyful work of learning to date yourself, to romance yourself, to fall in love with the magnificent and fascinating being that you are. And it is the sovereign work of taking the key to your own happiness out of the pockets of others, and placing it firmly back into your own. This is not a selfish work. It is the most generous work you can do. Because as you dismantle these inner barriers, as you heal your own loneliness, you naturally and effortlessly become the very thing you were once so desperately seeking: a safe, whole, and loving home for yourself. And a soul that has come home to itself is the most magnetic force in the universe. Part 5. The Parable of the Solitary Lighthouse Keeper. To fully understand this paradox, that to attract others, you must first be willing to be alone, let us tell the story of a young lighthouse keeper. He is assigned to a remote, solitary lighthouse on a rocky coast. And he is desperately lonely. His heart aches for connection. And so, he spends his nights not tending to his primary duty, but in a frantic and needy search for company. He sees a ship passing in the distant darkness, and he abandons the great, steady lamp of the lighthouse. He grabs a small, handheld lantern, and he runs down to the rocks, waving it frantically, shouting, "Come here! Be my friend! Don't leave me alone!" But what is the ship's experience of this? From the sea, the captain sees a strange, erratic, and desperate little light, moving chaotically. It does not look like a safe harbor. It looks like danger. It looks like a trap. And so, the ship steers clear, changing its course to move even further away from the desperate light. And the young lighthouse keeper is left even more alone, his belief that he is an outcast now painfully confirmed. One day, an old, wise, retired keeper visits him. The old man watches the young man's frantic and fruitless efforts, and then he says to him, with a gentle and knowing voice, "Stop waving your lantern at the ships. Your job is not to chase the ships. Your job is to tend to your light." The young man is confused. "But I am so lonely. How will they find me if I do not call to them?" The old man replies, "The ships are not looking for a needy friend. They are looking for a reliable light. A steady, powerful, and trustworthy beacon that they can navigate by. Your job is not to demand their attention. Your job is to make your own light so pure, so brilliant, and so unwavering, that it becomes a silent, irresistible signal of safety and of truth. So, stop chasing. And start polishing. Polish your great lens until it is spotless. Clean your lamp until it burns with a clean and smokeless flame. Fill your stores with oil. Become the most excellent and devoted keeper of your own inner light. Fall in love with the beauty of your own steady beam. When you do that, you will not have to chase the ships. The right ships, the ones that are truly looking for a safe harbor, will see your trustworthy light from 100 miles away, and they will turn their own rudders to come to you. You have been the young keeper, waving your small lantern of neediness and scaring away the very connections you crave. The journey to finding your tribe is the journey of becoming the wise keeper. It is the courageous work of turning your attention away from your loneliness and turning it toward your own light. It is the work of cultivating your own inner world, of tending to your own gifts, of becoming so in love with your own authentic frequency that your very being becomes a silent, steady, and powerful beacon. Part 6. The Vow of Self-Reliance. Do you recognize the frantic, lantern-waving keeper within yourself? Do you feel the truth that your own needy search has been pushing away the very thing you want? If this parable illuminates your path, I invite you to make this space your own, personal lighthouse. Subscribe to The Hidden Voice. This is a community for the keepers of the light, a place where we remind each other that our primary duty is to our own inner flame. And now, we must make a conscious choice. A choice to stop waving our lanterns, and to start polishing our lens. A choice to transform our needy loneliness into a radiant and self-reliant solitude. This is a vow of sovereignty. Find your center. Feel the quiet, steady flame of your own consciousness, the light that is always here, beneath the frantic search. And from this place of inner truth, make this declaration. I now see and understand that my lonely search has been broadcasting a frequency of lack, and has been pushing my tribe away. I see that my task is not to find others, but to first, and fully, find myself. I honor the part of me that has ached for connection. I see its pain and its longing. And I now lovingly release it from the search. I will become the very home that it has been seeking. Now, let this vow become your new compass for belonging. From this day forward, I make a vow of sacred solitude. I will learn to be my own best company. I will learn to find joy, wisdom, and a sense of home in my own being, before I seek it in another. I will stop chasing the ships, and I will begin the great and joyful work of tending to my own light. I will cultivate my gifts. I will explore my passions. I will build a beautiful inner world. I will become so in love with my own company that the company of others becomes a wonderful addition, not a desperate requirement. I trust that as I make my own light brighter, purer, and more steady, my signal will be seen. I trust that my tribe is not something I have to find, but something that will be drawn to the authentic, radiant, and self-sufficient light that I am becoming. Take a deep, conscious breath, and feel the profound shift. The frantic, outward search is over. The calm, inward journey of cultivation has begun. You are not abandoning your desire for a tribe. You are finally, for the first time, creating the very conditions that will allow them to find you. You are stopping the needy search, and you are starting the magnetic becoming. Part 7. Rituals for cultivating solitude. To make this vow of sacred solitude your lived reality, you must anchor it in new practices. You must consciously train your nervous system to experience being alone as a state of pleasure and fullness, not a state of lack and pain. These are the rituals of the wise lighthouse keeper. The first ritual is the sacred artist state. This is a powerful practice, inspired by the work of Julia Cameron. It is a non-negotiable, weekly block of time that you will schedule with your own self. It is a date, for once a week, for at least 2 hours, you will take your own inner artist, your own soul, out on an adventure. You might take yourself to an art gallery, a beautiful park, an old bookstore, a quiet cafe in a neighborhood you've never explored. There is only one rule: you must do it alone. This is not time for errands. It is not time to meet up with friends. It is a sacred, protected appointment for you to enjoy your own company and to nourish your own soul with new sights, sounds, and inspirations. This practice, done consistently, is profoundly healing. It rewires the old belief that being alone is sad, and replaces it with the new, experienced truth that being alone is a wonderful adventure. You are actively romancing yourself, and learning to become the source of your own joy and inspiration. The second ritual is building your inner sanctuary. The feeling of loneliness often comes from the feeling of not having a home. You have been looking for that home in other people. This ritual is about building that home, that sanctuary, inside your own being. This is a meditative practice. For 10 minutes each day, you will close your eyes, and you will begin to visualize your own inner world as a beautiful, safe, and sacred space. It could be a cozy library, filled with all the wisdom you've ever acquired. It could be a lush, magical garden, filled with your favorite flowers. It could be a serene temple, silent and peaceful. Your practice is to simply spend time in this inner sanctuary. Decorate it. Tend to it. Make it the most beautiful and welcoming place you can imagine. In this space, you can converse with your own inner wisdom, you can rest in the silence, you can feel completely and profoundly at home. The more you build and inhabit this inner sanctuary, the less desperately you will need validation or a sense of home from the outside world. You will carry your home within you. And a person who is already at home is a profoundly peaceful and attractive person to be around. The third ritual is the high-quality communion diet. The desperate search for your tribe often leads to what we can call energetic junk food. You scroll endlessly through social media, looking for a quick hit of connection, but it leaves you feeling empty and even more lonely. You engage in superficial conversations that drain your energy. This ritual is about putting yourself on a strict diet. You will consciously reduce the amount of low-quality, superficial connection you consume, and you will replace it with small, but potent, doses of high-quality communion. This might mean choosing to read a book by a wise author for an hour instead of scrolling. In that hour, you are in direct communion with a brilliant mind, a member of your soul tribe across time and space. It might mean listening to a piece of music that touches your soul, and allowing yourself to be in full communion with the spirit of the composer. It might mean choosing to have one deep, 10-minute conversation with a trusted friend, rather than 100 superficial interactions online. This practice honors your energy. It teaches you that true connection is about depth, not breadth. And it aligns you with the frequency of the deep, meaningful connections that you truly crave. Part 8. The birthplace of your gift. As you begin to practice these rituals, as you become more and more comfortable and joyful in your own solitude, something magical begins to happen. The silence is no longer empty. It begins to speak. The frantic, outward search for your tribe has been a profound distraction. It has been a loud noise that has prevented you from hearing the one voice that matters most. The voice of your own soul, your own unique genius. It is only in the quiet of solitude, when you are no longer trying to be anything for anyone else, that you can finally hear the subtle whispers of your own intuition. It is only in the spaciousness of solitude that you have the room to experiment, to play, to discover the unique gifts that you, and only you, were born to share with the world. It is only in the sanctuary of solitude that you can begin to do the deep, focused work of building your own lighthouse. The great work, the masterpiece, the business, the art, that is the true expression of your soul. And here is the final, beautiful secret. Your tribe is not drawn to you. They are drawn to the light that you shine. They are drawn to the masterpiece that you create. They are drawn to the unique frequency of the work that is born out of your own deep, authentic and joyful solitude. You have been trying to find your audience before you have written your song. The great work is to go into the quiet, to listen for your unique melody, and to begin to sing it, first for yourself and for yourself alone. You must become so in love with your own song that it doesn't matter if anyone else is listening. And the paradox is that the moment you arrive at that state of self-sufficient joy, is the moment that others, the right others, your true tribe, will finally hear your music, and they will come from far and wide to listen. Part 9. The Great Inversion of Belonging. And now we arrive at the great inversion, the profound reversal of understanding that will heal the wound of your loneliness at its very root. You have been operating under a painful and deeply conditioned belief: I need to find my tribe so that I can finally feel whole. This belief has made you a seeker, a searcher, a beggar for belonging. It has placed the key to your own wholeness in the hands of other people. And it has been the source of all your pain. The epiphany, the great and liberating inversion, is this: you must first feel whole, so that you can finally attract your tribe. Your wholeness is not the prize you get when you find your people. Your wholeness is the prerequisite. It is the signal you must be broadcasting. The desperate search for your tribe was never really about them. It was always a search for yourself. The ache you felt was not the ache of their absence. It was the ache of your own absence from your own inner sanctuary. The moment you truly come home to yourself, the moment you heal the loneliness within you and transform it into a radiant and joyful solitude, the frantic search ends. Because the thing you were looking for, a sense of home, of safety, of belonging, you have finally found it, in the one place it was always waiting for you, inside your own heart. The power to end your loneliness was never in their hands. It has been in yours, all along. And in this realization, you are no longer the orphan. You are the sovereign. You are no longer the seeker. You are the source. Part 10. The Magnetic Homecoming. And so we come to the end, which is the true beginning. You are no longer the frantic keeper, waving his lantern at the passing ships. You are the wise keeper, in love with the steady, beautiful, and powerful light of your own flame. You have built a beautiful sanctuary within yourself. You have learned to delight in your own company. You have healed the ache of loneliness by filling your own cup from your own well. And now, you are no longer needy. You are nourishing. You are no longer seeking. You are radiating. You are no longer a beggar. You are a beacon. And from this state of profound, self-sufficient, and joyful solitude, you can finally relax. You can stop looking for your tribe. Because you have finally become the frequency that allows them to find you. This is the final, beautiful paradox. The moment you are truly and completely okay with being alone, is the moment you become irresistibly magnetic to the right kind of company. The moment you stop needing your tribe, is the moment your tribe can finally appear. So rest. Tend to your light. Fall in love with the magnificent, fascinating, and infinitely creative being that you are. Build your inner world with so much love and beauty that it becomes your favorite place to be. And then, just watch. Watch what happens when a soul that has truly come home to itself shines its quiet, confident, and unapologetic light out into the world. You will not have to search for them. They are already searching for you. The beautiful and profound joy of your own company is the greatest treasure in the universe. If this journey has helped you to stop the frantic search and to begin the joyful journey of coming home to yourself, then help us share this map. Subscribe to The Hidden Voice. Like and share this message. Every interaction you make helps another lonely seeker to stop waving their lantern, and to start the sacred and magnetic work of tending to their own inner light. Thank you for your courage to be alone. Now go, and enjoy the magnificent company of your own beautiful soul.